Almost every game has a story to tell. I'm obviously crossing out the truly abstract ones like Tetris or the Impossible Game, but apart from them, they all do, even if the presentation is minimal. From Mario rescuing the forever absent princess to Skyrim's epic dragon hunting. By playing we encounter new, not always, interesting, well, again, not always, interesting stories and plots that hopefully resonate with us and we remember them. But the key word here is participation. Disclaimer, I am a voracious reader and I do enjoy movies. But in video games, you live and stay in the game, as your actions shape the story and the world around. Except for Mass Effect 3 endings, okay? But let's act as if that never happened. Usually think how I would do that if I were there. For example, orcs and elves are fighting against each other and the humanity is caught in the crossfire. You might try to resolve it peacefully, or favor one of the sides because you have some connections with them. Or just slay everyone for the sake of humanity. Because why the hell not? Bloodbath is always a good option. By picking a side and changing the story, it resonates with us much more deeper than, let's say, movies, where we are just passive observers. So, why don't we just use them in our real lives? You see, I observed 3 most important ways that paying attention to stories will pay off in real life. Don't get me wrong, same applies to other mediums like books, movies, or even music, but I'll stick to gaming for now. And these topics are big, like huge. So I'd like to create a whole episode about each one of them, but for now, let's just point them out. So, things to learn from gaming stories. Number 1, actual story crafting. This will come in handy if you are an aspiring writer or you enjoy telling stories to people. The more stories you are familiar with, the better ones you will craft in the future. Whether they are plots for pen and paper RPG sessions or the story of your next school play, you will be ready. Number 2, language. I feel that the utility of video games as language learning tool is a huge topic itself. But I want to bring your attention to your own language. Games are always posing in their narration, and the manner of speech differ greatly between Shadowrunners and Orcish Shamans. New vocabulary, speaking patterns, and voice modulation, all of those might be beneficial on top of your acting regime and your everyday conversations. And for number 3, psychology. There are many people discussing terms like religion, morality, and stereotypes in games. Both the good and the, well, not so good. But I just love using those terms to know a lot more about people I interact with on a daily basis. It's especially good if you want to get to know someone but prefer sticking to more mature topics. Their gaming picks surely tells a lot about them, but what about their in-game choices? You might vote for Trump or Clinton, but I want to know whether or not you killed the infected Terran colonies with Wings of Liberty. The fact we are talking about video games makes it much easier to talk, and yet it might reveal quite a lot about the other person. I can't forget the utter disbelief of my friend, Lemon, when I told her I killed Toriel. Whoopsie! Okay, so, well, I think of this episode as of the introduction. I would love to dwell much deeper into those topics, but hey, if you have something to add or a topic you would like to discuss and hear about, just let me know in the comments below, or catch me on Facebook. And if you want to hear more about learning from video games, apply for a scholarship now! Jesus, that's the best pun of my entire life. I seriously love this. Scholarship. Jesus Christ.